Have you ever felt surrounded by people and yet experienced a deep loneliness that you can hardly name? A familiar emptiness that seems endless. This pain is common, yet rarely discussed. What if I told you that the silence you carry could be an invitation for discovery? An invitation to look inward and realize that what we attract into our lives often reflects unhealed wounds and unexpressed longings. True freedom isn't gained through a shout or a desperate quest for approval. It reveals itself in the acceptance of who you truly are, without masks. When we attract people who drain our energy, we're looking in the mirror of our own self-image. And the answer, my friend, lies in rediscovering the intrinsic value that already resides within you. Join me on this journey. Let's explore together the emotional labyrinths that surround us. As we closely examine our relationships and the pain they cause, we begin to validate our own essence. What are we really seeking in the people around us? Each superficial connection, each empty interaction, demands an echo of the pain we carry. What if the key to your liberation is in accepting these truths? Attraction to toxicity is not just about the other person, it's about you. It's an opportunity to look within. What you seek in others may be a reflection of what you need to acknowledge in yourself. Relationships are often a space for learning and self-discovery. Being entangled in painful situations can be your chance to heal, to understand that it's not the quality of the company that defines your peace, but your internal perception. Now imagine that each person you attract has something to teach you. Have you considered that those moments of pain hold a lot to reveal about what you might not be willing to see? What if all of this is simply an invitation for you to find yourself? Allow yourself to feel, embrace the pain, and discover that this is, in fact, a crucial step towards self-awareness. Do you know what happens when you recognize yourself? You begin to cultivate self-acceptance. It might be difficult, but it's an essential path. With each small understanding, you start to liberate yourself. The true essence of your relationships flourishes when you allow yourself to be vulnerable. No more putting out what doesn't need to be there. You deserve all the answers you seek, and that begins by stopping and listening to yourself. Today, when you wake up, look in the mirror and say, "I am enough." And let that affirmation grow within you. It is the first step to detach from the need for external validation. Life can be full of challenges and pain will arise, yes, but remember, it's okay not to have all the answers right now. Every breath is a new opportunity to rediscover yourself. You are not alone. This journey is calling you. It's time to stop looking outward and start looking inward. Are you ready for this transformation? The true power lies in your ability to reveal who you really are. Have you ever wondered why you attract people who aren't good for you? This repeated pattern, this inexplicable dance between negative vibes and painful emotions. A cycle that seems to repeat itself, even when you desire the opposite. The truth is that these connections are often rooted in your deepest beliefs and fears. When you surround yourself with draining individuals, it's like being caught in a tide that pulls you under. You find yourself lost in an emotional current, wondering why you stay there. But what if the answer lies within you? The vibrations you emit and receive create a web that connects like souls. The wounds you carry attract similar wounds. Pain recognizes pain and unites. No one can pretend forever. What space do you truly occupy in your life? Perhaps you are allowing your fragmented self to dominate your relationships. Imagine for a moment a room full of people, yet you still feel alone. This is invisible emotional loneliness, the sensation that no one sees you, not even yourself. The energy you let out may be blending with the pain of others, forming an invisible current that traps you. Now let's reflect. Who is really by your side? All these encounters, this energetic synergy. You may have forgotten your true self. The dependency on external approval can be a mask you wear to please those around you. Approval becomes a burden, and your relationships a prison. But there is a way. This path begins with recognizing your narratives. Examine your choices, the interactions you engage in. What patterns repeat? Perhaps you need to allow yourself to feel the pain that lingers in your tangled connections. What do these relationships reveal about you? What is missing inside you that makes these dynamics appealing? It's perfectly okay not to know what to do right now. Acknowledgement is the first step. Free yourself from what no longer serves you. Seek to understand that transformation begins internally, in the awareness of your own vibrational field. We are all reflections of one another. You are the result of the energies you welcome and those you reject. As you confront these issues, start transforming what does not serve you. You don't have to remain stuck in this cycle. The first step is acceptance, and from this space of embracing, you begin to make different choices. Feel how important it is to be present with your emotions, but don't allow them to define who you are. New energies will start to approach as you purify your vibrational field. The world will respond to what you emit. Don't be afraid to distance yourself from what drains your essence. Enough is enough. You deserve to breathe without fear, and it's in the freedom of this space that you will find true connection. What if what you seek is precisely the freedom to be your truest self? Every choice you make can become a step toward transformation. Don't seek to please, but align with what genuinely resonates with your soul. This is the key to finding those energies that uplift, that heal, that nurture. Always seek purity in your relationships. This journey, while challenging, is an invitation to a life worth living. Have you ever woken up one day and felt like the world outside was heavier than usual? That sense that everything is draining your energy, leaving you exhausted and without perspective, is a silent scream echoing in your soul. Often, you feel like a tree in a storm, swaying between resilience and fragility. But what if I told you that you possess a powerful key that can transform your life? That key is the art of self-regulation. Each of us carries within a sanctuary, a sacred space where we can cultivate peace and positive energy. Imagine this sanctuary as an inner garden where every emotion, worry, or pain is a seed that you can choose to plant or uproot. What if you decide to plant flowers of self-love and compassion instead of weeds of negativity and pain? The beauty of self-regulation is that you become the guardian of this garden, able to create a safe space for yourself, regardless of the noise outside. Perhaps you have felt that the toxicity of your surroundings is affecting your soul. But here's something you may not have realized. You don't have to be a victim of it. By learning to regulate your emotions, you begin to protect yourself. You lower the volume of external noise and refocus on what truly matters. As you nurture this sacred space, you gain a shield against the negative energies surrounding you. Are you feeling exhausted? There's a reason for that. We often allow ourselves to be swept away by others' expectations, like leaves drifting down a turbulent river. Self-regulation is a practice that teaches us to return to our center, to cultivate the discipline that gives us the courage to say no to what no longer serves us. It's an act of love, a commitment to our own freedom. The first practice is to listen to yourself. Ask yourself, what am I really feeling right now? Allow yourself to feel the pain, the sadness, but don't let it dominate you. This is the first step to creating your protective space. Stop and feel the strength and fragility coexisting within you. Unfortunately, many of us learn to ignore our pain in search of external approval. But what if that pain you carry is, in fact, a source of wisdom? A personal compass pointing the way forward? Here's the truth. What blossoms in this garden are your emotional victories. Each small achievement, each moment of self-care is a flower blooming and filling your sacred space with vibrant colors. Now imagine if you took time each day to water this garden. It could be a moment of meditation, a walk in nature, or simply some quiet time for yourself. Have you noticed that when you take care of yourself, everything around you starts to align? You become a force of nature. The beauty is that, in this space, you're not only recharging your energy, you're also helping to shape your own narrative. No more being passive. You can decide how you react to the world. This change starts within you. in the conscious choice to nourish yourself. Self-regulation is not just a momentary exercise, it's an ongoing practice that, when cultivated, transforms your perception of yourself and the world. You are not defined by the pain you feel. You are defined by how you choose to respond to that pain. By embracing this truth, you become a magnet for positive vibrations, unaffected by the negativity of others. So, as you walk through life, remember, you have the power to protect yourself and create a space where positive energy flourishes. Today, as you wake up, take a deep breath and say to yourself, "My sacred space is mine. I choose to bloom." Little by little, you'll discover that this art of self-regulation is not just a skill, but a path toward becoming your own guardian. Amid the frenzy of everyday life, have you ever felt a void echoing within you? A dense silence, as if your soul is pleading to be heard while the world screams its chaos. Silence is often mistaken for weakness, but don't underestimate its power. This empty space can become a sanctuary, an unexpected refuge that embraces your wounds and whispers truths. What if what you fear could actually become your freedom? In a world full of noise and relentless opinions, silence becomes your fortress. It's the place where your inner voices can finally express themselves, where negative energies fade away like mist at dawn. What do you feel? Is it a deep loneliness or a weariness that seems to come from within? Remember, it's perfectly okay not to know what to do right now. You are not alone in this search for peace. More importantly, it is in this silence that emotional self-discipline flourishes. Perhaps today, you can close your eyes and feel the calming breath. Inhale and exhale. Feel the weight of worries dissipating with each exhalation. Silence starts to reveal itself as the answer you've always sought. What if, in this sacred space, you could reevaluate your relationships? What affects you comes from outside, but true strength comes from within. No one can pretend forever. Free yourself from those binds. Let silence guide you. Have you ever noticed how certain words, when spoken, carry an unexpected weight? Silence, on the other hand, can lift that burden away. It requires no legacy or explanations. This creates space for firm boundaries, a clear demonstration of the strength that arises from vulnerability. This is your invitation to introspection. What if, starting today, you transformed moments of silence into moments of listening? Silence tells you, you are enough. While others struggle for acceptance, you can choose to embrace your truth. And what if the pain you carry is actually a treasure in the form of wisdom? A lit pathway waiting to be explored. What you uncover in that silence might very well be the transformation your soul needs. Consider this. How do you feel when faced with solitude? Is it a place for meditation or an echo of rejection? With each deep breath, each pause, you begin to heal the wounds left open. Silence becomes an unconditional love, a shelter against the toxicity of the world. And by reclaiming this space, you recognize there is strength in stillness. You deserve to breathe without fear. You can use silence as a shield against the emotional storms that often invade. As external voices fade away, your true essence begins to shine. Now, when confusion arises, remember, the powerful answer is not found in action, but in the quiet of being. Allow yourself moments of silence. Permit yourself to find the peace that hides within the lines of your soul. Because in the end, true connection lies in appreciating the beauty of what occurs between words. The strength of silence becomes your invisible ally. It's time to reconnect with what has always been. You already belong to this journey. And when doubt arises, reach out to the silence. It is always there, ready to welcome you in the moments when you need it the most. Have you ever questioned how difficult it is to set boundaries? Imagine a vast landscape where you constantly feel invaded. This invasion can come from words, desires, or expectations that aren't yours. With each new demand, with every incursion, a part of you gets lost. Boundaries are like the light of a candle on a mountainside, fragile yet impenetrable. They don't need to be shouted, but they certainly can't be ignored. The fragility of your boundaries is an invitation for recognition. You don't need to contort yourself to fit into spaces that aren't yours. The wisdom lies in understanding that kindness is not weakness. It's a quiet strength that rises within you. Allow yourself to feel the pain of violation. This is a feeling many know, but only a few admit. What if this pain is your cry for freedom? To be free doesn't mean pushing others away, but rather reinforcing your sacred space. Now pay attention to this. It's not about building walls, but about raising barriers that protect the treasure that is you. Every boundary you establish, every no you utter, is a step towards strengthening your being. Why wait for the world to adjust to you when you can simply be honest with yourself? Boundaries aren't barriers, they're pathways to liberation. But what if what you fear in this process isn't loneliness, but the discovery of this new self? The self that defends itself with love, that says, I am enough, even when the world tries to convince you otherwise. Just yesterday, someone told me they were tired of pleasing everyone. I'm done being the nice guy, they said. And in that moment, I reflected on how many times you may have felt the same way. Enough is enough. Today, you will no longer diminish yourself. Respect starts with us. When you commit to being firm, true peace settles in. Reinforce your boundaries. And don't be afraid to distance yourself from those who don't respect that space. This isn't selfishness, it's self-love. It's about allowing yourself to shine without dimming your light. You deserve to breathe without fear of disapproval. What if the next truth about yourself changes everything? Remember, there will be people who enter your sacred space, but you have the right to choose who stays. And perhaps, with every no you say, you'll learn more about who you truly are. Can you see beyond the whispers of dissatisfaction that linger in your mind? Maybe what you're seeking isn't external acceptance, but internal validation. Redefine your space. If you haven't realized it yet, your boundaries are also a pathway to connection. They don't separate, they define. And by defining, you open yourself to what you truly deserve. Feel the discomfort, but don't avoid it. Let it guide you to a self that dares to exist without masks. Today, as you wake up, say to yourself, my boundaries are my shield. You are not alone, and each step toward this truth is a sign of strength. Feel that strength pulsing within you, and as you do, you create not just a boundary, but a sacred space that only you can inhabit. And then, what once blocked you will begin to dissipate. Remember, when you establish a boundary, you're not closing a door, you're opening it to something new. Opening up to what is healthy, releasing what no longer serves you. This is true inner alchemy. Be the alchemist of your own life. Have you ever felt drained when you're around someone? That suffocating energy, as if life is being sucked right out of you. The truth is, our energies intertwine. When one vibration is low, it attracts other similar vibrations. In this way, negativity spreads, like a shadow we cannot simply ignore. But what if you could change that? What if your daily choices held the keys to elevating your vibration and, consequently, repelling those toxic energies? The good news is that it's entirely possible. Imagine a radio adjusting until the perfect song begins to play. The same goes for your energy. When you align with your truth, your purest essence, the forces that once seemed insurmountable begin to dissipate. Being in harmony with yourself is like creating an invisible shield. You not only defend yourself, you transform the atmosphere around you. So, how do you connect with that truth? Ask yourself, what truly resonates with you? By acknowledging your deepest needs and desires, you create space for your energy to rise. Every choice you make, from the food you eat to the people you associate with and the activities you engage in, feeds that energy. You are the creator. Now take a moment to pause. Breathe deeply. Feel the weight of the expectations and judgments you may be carrying. It's okay not to have all the answers right now. What matters is your intention to align with what makes your heart sing. Can you imagine the clarity that comes with this process? When you surrender to your authenticity, your relationships change. The people around you will feel this shift. And as you become more authentic, those who don't resonate with your energy will naturally distance themselves. However, it's essential to remember that this journey is not linear. There will be days that feel heavier, moments when you feel tempted to conform to external expectations. In those moments, ask yourself, what do I truly want here? The answer could be liberating. What if the silence you fear is actually the door to your truth? Are you exhausted? There's a reason for that. Don't allow external pressures to define who you are. Connect with your daily self-care practices. This could be through meditation, a walk in nature, or even reading a good book. These moments help to harmonize and elevate your frequency. When you dedicate time to nurturing your soul, you start to realize that some battles simply aren't worth fighting. You deserve to breathe in peace and feel the lightness of being yourself. And if that means distancing yourself from certain people or situations, let them go. Each step you take toward your truth is a step towards freedom. Life becomes a smoother flow as you align with your true essence. The beauty of a new you begins to unfold. So, allow yourself to raise your vibrations, tune into yourself, and let life happen. Don't treat yourself like a shadow. You are light. You are the perfect sound. Have you ever looked in the mirror and not recognized who was there? Have you felt that no matter how hard you try, the reflected image doesn't match how you feel inside? This disconnect is something many experience. The outer universe reflects our inner world. When you change and transform, everything around you shifts as well, like an echo that spreads. The journey begins within you. And the truth that many avoid is simple. Our self-perceptions shape our realities. If you carry insecurities and fears, that shadow will project distorted shapes into the world. Look around you. But here's something you might not have noticed. What you see in others could be what you fail to accept in yourself. Insecurity attracts insecurity. Confidence attracts confidence. Imagine that the people around you are like stones in a lake. When you are at peace, the ripples are gentle and the reflection in the lake is clear. But when there's an internal storm, that image becomes a blur. So, it all starts with internal choices. When you cultivate a stronger, more secure self, your reality aligns with that new truth. But what if what you fear is actually the path you need to take? It's easy to get lost in the whirlwind of external criticism. When someone says something hurtful, the first reaction is often to shut down. But what if you didn't have to define yourself by others' opinions? What truly matters is your self-image, and that resides within you. What you think about yourself is what leaves a mark. Remember, no one can pretend forever. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a step-by-step process. We all have scars. The question is, how do they shape our perspective? Each wound presents an opportunity for new understanding. Each rejection offers a chance for rebirth. Examine the pain you carry. Is it guiding you? Now, what comes next may just be the most important. As you reflect on your self-image, start asking yourself, what do you really desire? Not what others expect of you, but what nourishes your soul. Seek out small moments that bring clarity. When you wake up, look in the mirror and say, I am capable. Close your eyes for a few seconds and feel the weight of your silence. It has something to reveal to you. When you commit to being true to yourself, a magical phenomenon occurs. The external world starts to reflect that truth. Relationships change, opportunities arise, and peace begins to flow in. Have you ever felt that deep connection? It's as if the light within you illuminates everything around you. What if your greatest power lies in the simplicity of being yourself? When you accept yourself, the world does the same. Embracing every part of who you are is the true transformation, one that begins in the soul and reflects in all your experiences. Don't let the need for approval sway you. You deserve to breathe without fear. Cultivating a stronger self is a gift you can give yourself. Proclaim these truths. In what ways is your internal transformation shaping your external world? The answer lies within you. And the journey, that journey continues. Are you tired of a world that seems to constantly shout at you? Of a noise that invades your being and leaves no room for peace? Often, life brings confusions that weigh down the soul. But what if, within this storm, there's a hidden sanctuary, a space that you can cultivate? The truth is that inner peace isn't a distant place to reach. It's here, right now, within you. Imagine an inner garden filled with flowers and trees that hold serenity. Connecting with this space could be exactly what you need to repel the negativity trying to invade your being. What if I told you that the silence your mind fears so much might be the answer you're searching for? It's common to feel as if this peace is miles away, but the reality is that it can be accessed in a single moment of conscious breathing. Yes, that's right. Each breath is an opportunity to create a sacred space within yourself, but this requires intention and practice. Take a moment to close your eyes. Feel the breath moving in and out. You are creating a sanctuary. In this space, set your worries aside. You don't need to be perfect, and you don't have to solve everything right now. What matters is allowing yourself a moment of pause. This is where true transformation begins. Visualize your mind as a calm lake, with a surface that reflects the clear sky. What if each disturbing thought is just a stone that, when dropped, creates ripples that quickly fade away? You are not the ripples, you are the lake. Stay focused on that space of stillness. This is the power of meditation and reflection. You aren't here to forget the pain, but to learn how to live alongside it. When you embrace the pain, it loses its hold over you. It's like discovering that the shadow isn't an enemy. It's a reminder that there is light behind it. How can you start to awaken this peace? Ask yourself, what moments of tranquility exist in your life? Each small moment of calm is a seed that, if well nurtured, will blossom into serenity. When you find yourself surrounded by chaos, remember, everything you need is within reach. All you have to do is take a step toward that inner garden. Now, what comes next may be the most important part. Recognizing that peace is an act of courage. It's about choosing not to be swept away by the tide of negativity. Think about the last time someone tried to make you feel less. How did you react? It's time to rewrite that narrative. Are you feeling exhausted? You have good reason. You've faced many challenges, and that takes energy. But here's the good news. You can reconnect with that space of peace. Take a deep breath and tell yourself, today, I choose to nurture my inner garden. Finally, remember, serenity is just a breath away. You are the architect of your reality. On this path of self-discovery, you can create a place where peace resides. Are you ready to cultivate that sacred space? Pain is intimidating. It arrives quietly, like a shadow stretching into the daylight, reminding us that we are human. Have you ever wondered what lies within each wound you carry? Within every pain, there is a seed that holds the potential to grow, to blossom, to transform. Imagine stepping into a space covered in dust and shadows. You sense something heavy, like a distant echo of what could be. Loneliness, frustration, exhaustion, all of these cry out to us. But what if the silence that haunts you is, in fact, fertile ground for a new beginning? What if your pain is what prepares you to blossom? Each scar we bear is a testament to our journey, a reminder that rebirth is possible. You don't need anyone's approval to understand your pain. Your experience is unique, deeply tied to who you become. Plants, when they grow, don't question the rocks they have to break through. They simply seek the light, and so it is with you. Today, I invite you to look for the first time at the pain that has echoed like a mantra in your life. Take a deep breath, feel the weight of it, and remember, It's okay not to know where this will lead you. It's okay not to have all the answers. This phase of uncertainty is often the moment when true growth begins. What if you could use this pain as fertilizer? Every emotion you feel, even the toughest ones, has the power to nourish the soil of your soul. Take a moment to feel this. Do you remember when you were hurt? What did you learn from that experience? Every wound is a lesson, an opportunity for growth. And each time you connect with that, you allow the light to enter. But here's something you might not have realized. What hurts can also heal. What wounds can also teach. Have you stopped to think about the moments that pained you the most? How have they shaped the person you are today? No one can pretend forever. The truth is that when we accept our pain, it transforms into power, into a vital force that propels us forward. Now, picture this. Every negative thought you carry, every judgment, it's all just a cloud obscuring your inner light. And with each passing day, you have the chance to decide whether to let that light shine through. So, move forward. Allow the pain you feel to transform into learning. When you permit yourself to grow and acknowledge each scar, you strengthen your roots. What if you began to cultivate small daily practices that make you feel like you're blossoming? For example, when you wake up, look in the mirror and say, "Today, I am capable." Or, before going to sleep, close your eyes and visualize that seed of transformation taking root even stronger within you. What you lack today might very well be what's preparing you for something wonderful tomorrow. At the end of the day, remember, pain is not a thief. It can be a companion, a disguised friend, bringing hidden lessons. Embrace it as part of the journey, the soil where the flowers of your transformation will bloom. And if, for just a moment, you allow yourself, you might discover that vulnerability is the fertile ground from which the greatest changes emerge. If this message resonates with you, write in the comments, "I choose to bloom." Allow yourself to be that flower that opens toward the sun. Love and gratitude for the pain and experiences you've lived will guide you along the path of transformation. And whenever you encounter pain, remember, it could very well be the seed of your own rebirth.